Hi friends, I'm Pastor Diana. Welcome to a daily devotion. I am so glad that you have chosen to pause in your day and to take a few moments to spend some time with God and invited me, and you might hear my dog Anastasia, along for the ride as well. Today we are continuing our journey through a sermon series on Henry Nouwen's Life of the Beloved and how we are exploring what it means to be beloved by God and to embrace that title. We're actually kind of beginning towards the end of the book and talking about what it means to be given and our lives and our gifts meant to be given. And I think one of the things that I greatly appreciate about Henry Nouwen's writing that came towards, he was writing this in his 50s, early 60s, is that he is not afraid to talk about death. And he says something that's pretty challenging. He says this: "More surely than ever before, I know now that we are called to give our very lives to one another, and that in so doing, we become a true community of love. Second, we are called to give ourselves, not only in life, but in death as well." You know, we don't like to talk about death very often. We don't like to consider our own deaths very often. But it is a part of life. And it's also something that Paul confronts. Paul says it this way in the book to the Philippians. He writes this somewhat contradictory and kind of hard to understand statement. He says, "I'm glad because I know that this will result in my release through your prayers and the help of the Spirit of Jesus Christ. It is my expectation and hope that I won't be put to shame in anything. Rather, I hope with daring courage that Christ's greatness will be seen in my body, now as always, whether I live or die. Because for me, living serves Christ and dying is even better. If I continue to live in this world, I get the results from my work. But I don't know what I prefer. I'm torn between the two because I want to leave this life and be with Christ, which is far better. However, it's more important for me to stay in this world for your sake. I'm sure of this. I will stay alive and remain with all of you to help your progress and the joy of your faith, and so to increase your pride in Jesus Christ through my presence when I visit you again." Both Nouwen and Paul are talking about one of the things that is a very interesting part of the Christian life and the spiritual life. What it means to have faith in Christ, not only in our life, but in our death and in the death of our loved ones. One of the things that Nouwen proclaims and that I claim is that we are all beloved. And if we are all beloved and our life belongs to God, we are the beloved of God, and in our deaths we return to God, what does that mean? Of course, death is filled with pain and sorrow, especially in tragic circumstances. When you miss someone, there is no denying of that. But the love that Nouwen's point, and I think Paul's too, is that the love that is revealed in someone's death, the love that you have for someone or the love they have for you, or any other type of love or lovingness or belovedness, helps us understand God's love in a slightly different way. Now, does that mean that it is not painful and hurtful? Absolutely not. But one of the odd parts of the Christian life is claiming that God is with us. Christ is with us in our life and in our death. And so as we live in Christ not only during our life, but through and until and through and beyond our death. And underneath all of that, we are beloved. And when we share that with each other, Nouwen's point is that's when beloved community can happen. So I invite you to do something that you may not do that often. Consider your death. Not how it happens or the people you leave behind, but what does it mean that you transition from this life into a life with Christ? And how can we continue to take hope from that to continue to live as Christ, in Christ, every single day? Beloved, you are beloved by God. Embrace that and know it, that every moment you are beloved. Have a blessed day.